Welcome to the Tea Mind. I'm Erica, and this is your weekly pause to put the kettle on, slow down, and reconnect with what really matters. Hello, pop the kettle on because today we're going to talk about something radical: doing less. And this is not a message that we can hear often enough. Not laziness, not avoidance, but intentional, powerful, pared back focus. And I want to share a few thoughts about how choosing fewer things can unlock more clarity, creativity, and ironically, real achievement. So, this message is for you if you're doing all the things, feeling constantly busy, but that one thing that really matters is still waiting. Maybe it's writing the book that you've always wanted to write, or launching your dream project, or just having a life with more white space. And you are not alone. So let's sit down together and pour a cup of clarity and let's explore the beauty of doing just enough. So last week I ran a tea blending workshop for a cat cafe in Edinburgh and it was lots of fun. It was a really creative evening filled with lots of scents and ingredients and stillness. And everyone had access to a long table of ingredients. There was lots of different teas and herbs like chamomile, hibiscus, rose, rooibos, lavender, peppermint. And some people came into the session with a real clarity. They were maybe seeking something soothing, floral, and light, or maybe something a little bit spicy and darker and heavier. But others, they panicked at all the options. And some people added in everything, and I mean absolutely everything. And the result when they tasted it was a beige muddle, and it tasted like nothing and kind of everything all at the same time. Too much had drowned out the special. And that's when it really hit me that we do the exact same thing in life often. We often say yes to every opportunity, fill our calendars right to the brim, try and please everyone, chasing 17 goals all at the same time. And yet we wonder why nothing feels meaningful. And we wonder why we're exhausted and uninspired, and why we still haven't started the thing that really matters. But this isn't a personal failure. It's what Greg McKeown in Essentialism calls the undisciplined pursuit of more. And it is everywhere. But what's the cost of always doing more? You start the day on a full tank, by the end of it, you're feeling really empty, being constantly productive, but not actually progressing that much, and feeling stretched and pulled in every direction, but not often feeling that centered and balanced feeling. And maybe worst of all, your inner voice gets drowned out. And when you're in this constant motion, there's no space to hear what you really want. Just like a tea that's overblended, your essence, your unique flavour gets lost. So it's no wonder that you're tired, and it's no wonder that you maybe feel a little bit stuck. So let's get really clear. Doing more isn't the path to your dream. Doing less with intention is. And I wish I could tell you that once you've learned to say no, once you've cleared your calendar and set your boundaries, you're done. But the truth is, this is a constant work in practice, which is why I find anchoring these exercises to a daily tea routine helps, because life has a sneaky way of sneaking in more ingredients day after day. So I love this anchoring with tea. It gives you clarity, intention, and rebalances. And it helps me have a daily reset button that I can go back to. Even when I think I've nailed the balance, something shifts and suddenly I'm right back in the mix of doing all the things. Recently, I'd been feeling quite proud of myself because I had started saying no to more things and I was keeping my days intentionally spacious because I was already at maximum capacity. But then my daughter got selected to represent Scotland at the World Junior Surfing Championships in Peru in December. This was 6 weeks away at the time. And of course, I had to go with her. I had to help fundraise for the team in a very short space of time. And none of this was factored into my carefully curated calendar. And one night this week, as I was checking through my messages, I realised that I'd just been doing all the things and nothing that effectively. I'd gone and sent out wrong dates for a product launch event, and I got that gut punch feeling of overwhelm, that anxiety hit, the guilt. And I was trying to do all the things again and not achieving any of them very well. And worst of all, I really wasn't present for what mattered most. and really was finding it hard to appreciate this amazing achievement of my daughter being selected to represent Scotland. So I paused just for 3 minutes. I made a cup of tea, I breathed, and I asked myself, what are the 3 things that truly need to happen this week? And I wrote them down and I put everything else on pause. And in that moment, that chaotic moment, I was reminded why I created the T Mind system in the first place. Not as a luxury, but as a daily lifeline. Because at crazy times like this, I don't need to work harder. I need more clarity and more presence and a gentle nudge back to what actually matters. And tea, simple, present, honest tea leaves help me do just that. So just remember, less isn't failure. Less is focus. And when you do fewer things, but you do them with presence, everything starts to shift. You start to feel calmer, you start to gain some momentum, and you reclaim that creative energy. And most importantly, you can start to hear your intuition again. In Essentialism by Greg McKeown, which I'll link in the show notes, he says that if you don't prioritize your life, someone else will. And that is very, very true because I sometimes realize that when I'm living someone else's priorities, that's not where I want to be. So, what if doing less isn't about missing out, but it's about tuning in instead? What if your next chapter doesn't need more hustle, just more space? And what if the answer that you've been chasing has been waiting in that pause, in that silence all along? So, this shift doesn't need a 10-day retreat. It can begin while your kettle boils. So while your tea's brewing this week, I encourage you to try this clarity tea routine. The first step is to choose a tea with intention and ask yourself, what do you really need right now? Do you need more energy or more calm, more grounding? I am enjoying the seasonal balanced mind white tea to support me to rebalance and gain some clarity at this moment. So while your tea brews, just do nothing else. Just breathe. Just naturally, just noticing your breath come in, breathing in calm, and breathing out tension as you watch the leaves unfurl. And just gently notice how your thoughts can settle. And then ask yourself one question. What do I need to say no to today to make space for what really matters? Don't overthink it, just notice what comes up. And then sip slowly, tasting the flavours, feeling the warmth, and let your tea remind you that you can be full without being busy. So I invite you to try this for 1 cup of tea a day for 3 days and see what changes for you. So I'm curious now, what is your beige blend this week? Where are you doing too much and tasting too little? And what could you pause this week to make room for what really matters? So maybe you don't need to overhaul your life completely overnight. Maybe you just need to create a little more space. Until next week, thank you. That's it for today. I hope something landed, I hope something lifted, and if it did, share it with someone who needs a pause too. If you enjoyed this, you'll love the Tea Mind Substack, where the kettle's always on and we can connect more deeply. Until next time, stay present, sip slowly, and thanks for listening.